Good day everyone. So welcome sa ating chapter 2 sa Math 11 or Calculus 1 Differential Calculus. So for this chapter, we'll be discussing the following. So we'll have a short preview on calculus. We'll discuss the limit of a function, the limit loss, and the continuity and discontinuity. Okay, so let's proceed with the preview on calculus. Okay, so si calculus is primarily siya ay solution dun sa mga problems na encounter before. So, meron kasing two two problems before na hindi gano'n kadali ma-solve using the tawag dito, nung ibang mga formulas in math na already present during that time. So, si calculus is nagamit siya in solving two problems before. So, yung mga problems na yun is una, yung pagkuha ng tangent ng isang line sa isang curve or sa isang Yes, sa isang curve at a certain point. And then yung pangalawang problem is yung pagkuha ng area under a curve. Okay, so using the calculus or the concept of calculus, nakuha yung mga solution or yung mga formula for those problems. Okay, so let's start with the pagkuha mamaya ng mga slope or ng tangent nung sa curve ng isang graph. Okay, so rate of change is one of the most critical concepts in calculus. In linear function, the rate of change is constant. So, di ba, as you have, as I have shown sa ating course outline, we'll be discussing also the slope and the rate of change because basically calculus work on that. Okay? And sa mga linear functions, as you can see in these three graphs or three graphs, these lines shows the function or the linear functions or the graph of linear functions. And as you can see, if we're talking about the rate of change or the slope of these lines, so makikita natin na constant lang yan. Okay, kasi nga linear yung ating function. So, pero pagdating natin sa mga curves, hindi siya ganun kadali makukuha. So, tingnan natin to. This is a nonlinear function. So, this graph here shows a nonlinear function. So, medyo mahirapan tayo kuhanin basta yung rate of change lahat. Kasi hindi naman pare-pareho yung maging rate of change dyan at every point in time. Okay? So, dito papasok yung isang concept ng pagkuha ng rate of change from certain points. Okay? So, magagamit natin dito yung tinatawag na secant line. So, yung secant line is yung, kung makikita natin sa graph na to, from this point up to this point or from this point up to this point, yung line yan is natawag natin isang secant line. Okay? So, ang nangyayari dyan is if we are trying to find the slope of this graph, kung makikita natin itong blue na line na yan, so yung graph of function na yan, is hindi siya gano'n natin basta-basta makukuha. Pero kung gagawin natin is pero kung ang kukuhanin natin is yung slope from this point up to this point, magdodrawing tayo ng line, di ba napakadali niya makukuha. Kasi ang pagkuha lang naman ng slope is simply dito, the difference between the y sub 2 and y sub 1 over the x sub 2 and x sub 1. Tama? So, kung yun ang kukuhanin natin, kung yung slope nun, yung ating kukuhanin, napakadali lang yung kukuhanin because that's a linear function kung yung straight line na yan. Pero kung meron tayo ditong isang ganyan na graph na naka-curve, so at different point is iba-iba yung kanyang slope. Okay, so we cannot exactly say kung ano yung kanyang magiging change or rate of change ng function na yun. Okay? So, ang gagawin nating concept is kung gagawin natin is lalapitan natin ng lalapitan, halimbawa from this point, from this x, and then lalapit tayo ng lalapit, halimbawa certain x, another x, value of x, up to makalapit tayo dito kay A, but not exactly at A. Okay, so paano yung sinasabi ko doon? So, ito yung kailangan nating tignan. Okay, so halimbawa, from this point, yung initial natin na x na tinitignan, papunta dito, yung slope nitong orange na to, compared dito sa kukuhanin natin mamaya na tangent line, is napakalayo. Okay? Pero, kung yung slope nitong kulay green na to, nung blue-green na 'to, ay iko-compare natin dun sa tangent line na kukuhanin natin mamaya, mas malapit siya, 'di ba? So, tignan natin yun doon. Okay, so eto, kung ang titignan natin ay yung tangent line, so when we say tangent line, that is the line which intersects the function at one point only. Okay, so kung ang point of concern natin is at point A, so yung line na once na mag-intersect dun sa graph ng ating function, so etong tangent line na 'to, kung isusum pa natin siya ng isusum, makikita niyo diyan na isang beses lang siya nag-intersect dito at point A. So, kung iko-compare natin yung slope nitong mga 'to, halimbawa itong slope ni tawag dito, ni nitong orange na line, compare dito sa slope nitong tangent line natin, makikita natin na malayo siya or napakalaki ng kaibahan ng slope. Pero kung yung slope nitong naka-light green at this x, yung another intersection, ito dito, makikita natin na mas malapit. So, ano yung point natin doon? So, ang point natin is habang lumalapit yung point natin na x or yung x natin na kino-consider ng papalapit kay A, mas lumalapit yung slope natin doon sa slope ng tangent line. Mas nagiging accurate yung ating approximation. Okay? So, yan yung ginagawa natin which is yung madidiscuss din natin sa next topic natin dito sa calculus, dito sa chapter 2. Okay? Yan. So, yun nga ang tinatawag kong or yung concept nga na yun ay yung i-discuss natin which is the limit. Okay? So, again, yung concept niya is kung ito yung una nating point of concern na x, habang lumalapit siya ng lumalapit, yung value niya sa a, ibig sabihin, yung ating approximation doon sa slope na kinukuha natin is mas lumalapit doon sa mismong slope ng tangent line. Kasi di ba nga, is etong calculus is one way to solve that problem in determining the tangent line of a point of of a line to a curve at a certain point. Okay? At certain point A. So, ginagamit natin siya or ito yung gagamitin natin way para malaman ngayon kung ano yung magiging tangent line doon sa curve na yun. Okay? So, yung another problem natin is regarding naman sa okay, so sorry. Sorry for the interruption. So, another problem naman natin, di ba, kanina is yung sa area under the curve. Okay, so ang ginagawa naman doon is naglalagay ng mga rectangular na shapes na umpisa malaki, then papaliit yan ng papaliit ng papaliit hanggang sa makikita nyo na yung space na nandyan, yung mga kawang na tinatawag natin, is lumilit ng lumiliit hanggang sa yung ating pinaka-width is approximately approaching zero. Pero hindi siya actually zero. Kasi kung zero, parang halos mga line na lang din siya, di ba? Pero very close to zero. Nang sa ganun is makuha yung pinaka-area under this curve. Pero hindi naman natin siya magiging concern dito sa ating subject for this sem. Dahil yan ay ma-encounter nyo pa more on sa integral calculus. Okay, so babalikan lang natin si tangent line. So, di ba kanina is, ang gusto natin is, mas maging, tawag dito, makuha natin yung slope na mas close or mas ma-approximate natin yung magiging slope na magiging mas accurate or mas kamuka or mas maging malapit dun sa slope ng tangent line. Okay, halimbawa, dito sa sabi ko kanina na ang slope nitong nasa orange line is mas malayo compared dito sa slope nitong tangent line or kapag kinompare mo sila, magkaiba. Pero habang lumalapit yung x natin, yung slope nung halimbawa yung slope ng green line, mas malapit yung value ng slope ng green line dito sa slope ng tangent line. And kung mas lalapit pa tayo mas lalapit kay A, mas magiging close yung ating approximation or mas magiging accurate yung ating approximation. Okay, so bakit ba natin gusto kuhanin yung parang pinakamalapit na slope doon sa tangent line? Okay? Because yung slope ng tangent line, yun yung nagre-represent ng ating, I'm sorry, yun yung nagre-represent ng ating derivative. Okay? So, yung slope na yun, yung, yung rate of change na yun yung nagre-represent sa ating derivative. Kaya, yun yung gusto nating pinaka malaman. So, we want that value of x to be as close doon sa point na concern natin nang sa ganoon is mas maging accurate yung approximation natin regarding the slope of the tangent line. And then, we will find the derivative of that function. Okay? We will get the most accurate answer for the derivative of that function. Okay? Okay. So, let's proceed with the limit of a function. So, again, di ba, as we have discussed on previous slides, yung concept ni limit is we are taking the values of x closest or we are taking the limit, I'm sorry, we're taking the values of x that are very close to a or mas kinukuha natin or pumipili tayo ng value na x na napakalapit doon sa concern nating point. Halimbawa, ito yung point of concern natin. Okay? So, pumipili tayo ng value na mas malapit kay a para makuha natin yung pinaka gusto nating answer. Okay? So, yun yung pinaka-concept kay limit. Okay? So, kung makikita natin dito, di ba? Ayan. So, halimbawa, ang point of concern natin kay A ay yung 2. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So, halimbawa, ang point of concern natin is yung nandito kay A. So, habang lumalapit siya kay A or kay 2, halimbawa, from left side papunta dito, habang lumalapit siya dito kay number 2, yung ating namang, tawag dito, yung ating nagiging output nila sa Y is lumalapit kay 4. Pero kapag naman, and kapag lumalapit naman siya, papunta kay 2, from right, papuntang 2, lumalapit din siya kay, tawag dito, kay 4. Kung magpipili pa tayo ng mas malapit na value ng x dito, halimbawa, 2.0001, mga nandito. So, mas makikita natin na yung ating magiging output is napakalapit na rin kay 4. Okay, so, ibig sabihin, or we can therefore parang conclude or assume na habang lumalapit yung ating x dun kay 2, which is a, or as x approaches 2, the limit of that function, of this function, is 4. Okay? So, that's the concept of limit. Pero, take note that that a, or we are just approaching 2. Okay? Not necessarily 2 yung ating ilalagay as value of A. Okay? X approaches 2 or X approaches A. So, I think familiar naman kayo sa mga sa limit or naririnig dyan yung kapag sinabi natin limit, meron siya laging X approaches ganitong number, ganyang number. Okay? Again, approaches lang siya, hindi siya X equals 2. So, hindi siya direct substitution or kapag may nakita ka halimbawa ditong X, papalitan mo na lang ng 2. Okay? So, hindi siya basta ganun. Okay? Pero though at some parts, makikita natin na nagagamit natin yung ganung way or yung substitute, okay, which is madi-discuss natin later. Okay? So, ayun nga, ang pinaka-concept lang natin dito na gustong i-point out sa mga nakalagay dyan is kapag meron tayong ina-approach or if we are looking at a point, let's say, yun nga, at number A, sorry, or at a number that is represented by A, and then nagkakaroon siya ng parang output or katumbas na output na L, we can say that a real number L exists. Okay? Or kapag yung katulad ng sabi natin kanina dito sa graph na to, para mas madali natin siya maintindihan, habang yung ating x is nag-approach a certain, tawag dito, certain value and an output exists represented by L, so we can say that that limit exists. Okay? Pero pansinin natin na kapag halimbawa, 2 yung ating value, tapos ito yung ating function, di ba? Because this line represents this function. Okay? So, kapag nilagay natin dito basta yung 2, katulad sinasabi ko kanina, di ba magiging 4 minus 4 or 2 minus 2, which is 0 over 0, which is indeterminate. So, magiging 0 over 0 siya or indeterminate. Ibig sabihin, yung limit niya is hindi nag-exist. Okay? So, kaya hindi siya basta direct substitution. Okay? So, again, as x approaches a certain number or certain number represented by a and an output exists, a real number L exists. Therefore, we can say that as x approaches a, the limit of the function as x approaches a is L. Okay? And again, dito, tandaan natin, again, x is not equal to a. It just approaches a. Okay? So, meron naman tayo dito mga example mamaya or may mga example tayo na sasagutan ng mas visualize natin si limit ng function. Okay? So, para mas malinawan natin yung binabanggit ko kanina pa na approaching lang siya and hindi siya equal. At meron tayo ditong ginawang table. Okay? So, halimbawa, ang ating function is a minus x. Okay? So, ang ginagawa lang natin dito is, dito, kung ang, I'm sorry, yung ibig sabihin natin ng yung x is approaches a, yung kanilang difference is lumilit ng lumiliit. So, halimbawa, ang x natin is, halimbawa dito ay 0.1 and then yung a natin is, dito, 0. Okay? So, 0 minus 0.1 is negative 0.01. Pero kung ang a natin, yung x natin ginawa natin 0.01 or mas pinalapit natin sa value na 0. So, 0 minus 0.01. Wait lang, try natin sa calculus. So, baka magkamali na masabi. So, 0 minus 0.01 is, I'm sorry, inano ko pa, no? Again, 0 minus 0.01 is negative 0.01. Tama? Okay, so sorry for that. Nalito lang, kinalkyo pa. Okay, so, kung halimbawa 0 to, 0 to, kung makikita natin, yung kanilang difference, which is ito na rin, kung 0 nga to, ito rin yung difference, mas lumiliit. And kapag mas lumiliit yan, makikita natin ngayon na mas magiging accurate siya. Okay, so meron tayong example dito na magpapakita doon. Okay, so itong sa pagkuha ng limit ng function sin x over x. Okay, so, ayun, sorry, diretso na pala. So, kung ang ating function ay sin x over x, gawa tayo ng dalawang column. Okay, so for this column is yung value ng x and then dito is yung kapag sinubstitute natin yung value ng x. Okay, so halimbawa 0.1 or negative 0.1 yung ating value ng x, then nilagay natin siya dito sa calcu. So dito pala sa ating example, make sure na naka-radian yung calcu nyo. Okay, so shift mode and then 4 para sa radian kung nakagamit kayo ng cycle. So lagay lang natin sine of negative 0.1 over negative 0.1, we have 99833.41665. So, sa calcu is na ground up na siya. Okay, pero kapag yung ating value ng x is pinalitan pa natin ng mas malapit na value sa 0, kasi nga, ang x natin is approaching 0, di ba? So, si negative 0.01, mas closer sa 0, obviously. Okay? So, ang ating answer is magiging 0.999833334. So, akin nag-cut na dito sa 4. So, kung itutuloy pa natin siya, natutuloy, mas lalapitan pa natin siya kay 0 or maging halimbawa negative 0.000001. So, ang magiging answer natin is mas lalapit sa certain value, which is makikita natin dito na number 1. Okay? So, ang ginagawa natin dito, so kaya siya negative 0.1 is we're approaching 0 from left side or we're approaching 0 from left side. So, tingnan natin yung sa graph natin kanina. Diba dito, ang ginawa muna natin is we approach this certain A or yung number 2 natin from left and then let's try to approach it from certain number from right. Okay, so for us to counter check kung same ba lang yung magiging answer. Okay, so kaya negative 0.1 again is from left tayo lumalapit kay 0. Okay, so dito naman sa kabila, 0.1 because we are approaching 0 from right. So 0.1, lapit tayo ng ng konti. So 0.01, lapit pa ng lapit hanggang maging 0.001, which is makikita natin na meron silang, tawag dito, tinutumbok na isang number. Makikita nyo pareho lang sila, di ba? So, ang ibig sabihin niyan, meron tayong limit na makukuha. A limit L exists. Okay? Because the, tawag dito, from left and from right, nag-approach tayo, while we are approaching 0, may lumalabas sa ating answer. Okay? So, yes, based na doon sa nakatulad natin kanina, lumalapit siya kay 1. And kung titignan natin siya sa graph, mas makikita natin siya, kung mas makikita or mas mapoprove natin na as x approaches 0, yung limit ni sin x over x is 1. Okay? So, makikita natin dito, di ba? Habang lumalapit from left to right, papunta dito, from right to left, makikita natin na nagiging, dito, in-approach na si 1. Pero bakit may bilog doon? So, lagay natin si sin 0 over 0. We will have a math error sa calcu, or that will give us an answer na 0 over 0 or indeterminate. Okay? So, ayun nga, katulad sabi ko kanina, x only approaches 0 but not equal to 0. Okay? Pero, again, since we saw from our table na kapag mas nilapitan natin na mas nilapitan yung value ng x, or habang lumalapit sa x kay 0, either from left or from right, ibig sabihin, and they are approaching the same number 1, ibig sabihin, yung limit nitong function na to is 1. Okay? So, that is how we get the limit of that function using table. Okay? So, si table is maganda siyang way na pag-practice para, tawag dito, ma-familiarize siya kung paano kuhanin yung limit. And mind yung magagamit nyo siya pagdating sa review or sa review dito sa school and even sa review center outside. Okay? So, tawag dito, magiging madali sa inyo yung pag-solve ng limits ng function if alam niyo yung concept ng limit. Okay? So, ayan. So, keep in mind that for a limit of a function to exist at a point, the functional values must approach a single real number value at that point. So, katulad ng nangyari kanina, di ba? Yung limit ni sin x over x as x approaches 0 from left and from right is, ang ina-approach nilang number is the same, which is 1, positive 1. So, we can say that the limit exists. Pero kapag hindi iisa yung ina-approach na number, ibig sabihin, the limit does not exist. Yun ang sabi ko na rin kanina. Okay, so let us have an example for that. So, imbes na sin x over x, gawin naman natin sin 1 over x. So, pakitry sa calcu. Again, make sure na naka-read dyan ng inyong calcu. So, sin 1 over, so again, negative 0.1 because we are approaching 0 from left. Negative 0.1 we have. Positive 0.544021110. Okay, so wait lang. Okay, so sorry for the interruption. So again, so pakitry sa calcu, and using the calcu naman, makukuha nyo itong mga answer na to. Pero mas may kilinga lang kasi hanggang dito lang yung pinapakita ng calcu. Okay, so dito lang sa line na to. Okay, so certain number of digits lang. Okay, so going back, so kung makikita natin na at negative 0.1, 0.554. Pero kapag naman positive 0.1, naka-negative siya. Though same magnitude, magkaiba naman ng ating sign or opposite sign. So, ganun pa rin, magiging magkaiba ng sign. Okay? So, ano ang pinapoint out dyan? Kung makikita natin, or dito, alalahanin natin yung meaning nung kanina sa limit. If yung limit, para daw mag-exist yung limit ng isang function as x approaches a, dapat pareho lang yung value na ina-approach niya. Or nagiging, dito, pareho lang yung number na tinutumbok nila. Pero since makikita natin dito na, dito, lagi lang siya nag-iiba ng sign. Kung dito positive, ang magiging answer dito magiging negative dapat. Dito positive, dito negative, dito negative, dito magiging positive. So we can say na hindi siya kahit ituloy pa natin ang ituloy, hindi siya mag-meet at certain number. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, the limit does not exist. Or, pwede rin natin siya makita sa graph. Okay? So, kung makikita nyo, kung halimbawa nandito siya tawag dito sa point na to, nandito yung ina-approach niya na value. Pero, dito sa kabilang side, kung nandito siya sa point na to, nasaan ba yan? So, halimbawa dito, nandito naman siya sa point na to. So, they have the same, tawag dito, magnitude. So, from this up to this, same lang yung magnitude, pero magkaiba ng sign. This is located above the horizontal line or the x-axis. This one is located below the x-axis. So, we can say na hindi talaga sila nag-approach ng single real value, which means that the limit does not exist. Okay? Okay, so sometimes indicating that the limit of function fails to exist at a point does not provide us with enough information about the behavior of the function at that particular point. So, ang ginagawa natin is, inaalam lang natin kung yung, tawag dito, yung limit ng function from left to right, which is yung ginagawa na nga natin kanina, which is yung tinatawag natin ng mga one-sided limit. Okay? So, di ba kanina ginagawa na natin yung limit ni, tawag dito, balikan natin yung dito. Without knowing this part or without considering this part, okay? So, kung ito lang yung titignan natin from left to right, so makikita natin na may I'm sorry, mali pala. Ito. Okay? So, without considering this part, ito lang. So, kung makikita natin na habang ina-approach nito si 0, ina-approach na rin si 1. Okay? So, ang ibig sabihin lang ng one-sided limit, halimbawa lang ng hindi siya nagpapareho. Okay? Etong part na to is ina-approach na si 0 while approaching, yung output natin is approaching is single value. Okay? Pero dito sa kabilang side, if that is one-sided limit, ito is approaching 0, pero ibang value yung ina-approach niya. Okay? Or ibang value, ibang limit yung kanya nakukuha. Okay? So, balikan natin dito sa magiging example niya. Okay? So, halimbawa, dito sa ating figure B. So, ang ating namang ang ating namang function is absolute value of x minus 2 over x minus 2. So, habang papalapit na papalapit yung value ni x from left to right, ang nagiging ina-approach niyang value ay, sorry, meron siya ina-approach na single output. And ganun din naman si from right to left. Sorry. Wait lang. Okay, so, di ba, balikan natin yung kanyang, tawag dito, di ba, sabi natin, as the limit of that function, or as x approaches to, meron siyang certain limit na kinukuha. So, halimbawa, ang ating function nga is g of x. As x approaches to, halimbawa, from left, papunta kay 2, meron siyang certain value na nakukuha. From right to left, meron din siyang nakuha na value. So, gawin natin yung ginagawa nating concept kanina sa limit na halimbawa, from left to right, ibig sabihin yung value ni x kung from left to right, mas mababa kay 2. Tama? So, since siya ay absolute value, lagyan natin ng absolute value. So, shift abs or shift height para kay abs. So, nasa calcu yun, pakihanap na lang. So, shift height, makuha natin si x minus 2 or ang value ni x to from left papunta kay 2 is 'di ba halimbawa 1.99. Okay, so pili tayo ng mas malapit na value. 1.99 minus 2 over 1.99 minus 2. So makikita natin na negative 1 yung answer. So pili pa tayo ng mas malapit pa or mas malayo, 1.9 over 1.9 minus 2 over 1.9 minus 2. So again, negative 1 pa rin yung answer. Makikita natin na constant yung answer or constant yung ating magiging parang pinaka-limit na ina-approach. Okay, so negative 1 yung number or yung limit kapag from left to right or as x approaches to from left. Okay, pero from right as x approaches to from right, so halimbawa ay tawag ito 2.1 naman kasi Diba ang from right papunta kay 2, malaking value ng 2 yun or mas malaki na value kay 2. So we have 2.1. So absolute value of 2.1 minus 2 over 2.1 minus 2. So we have positive yun naman as shown in the graph. Makikita natin na anumang value ng x yung ilagay natin is 1 yung nagiging kanyang output. Okay? Pero they are not approaching the same limit. They are not approaching the same output. Kasi dito, it's approaching negative 1 while in this part naman, positive 1. Okay? So, we cannot say that the limit exists as a whole. But we have one-sided limit. Okay? So, katulad ng sabi ko kanina, diba? As the limit, I mean, as x approaches 2, from the left, ibig sabihin nung negative 2, nung negative sign dyan is from left. Okay? So, hindi ibig sabihin na negative 2. So, as x approaches 2 from the left, yung ating function is approaching negative 1 as we have tried sa calcu din. And kapag naman as x approaches 2 from the right, yung ating function has the limit positive 1. Okay? So, yun yung concept natin sa one-sided limit. Okay? So, meron siyang limit pareho from either side, approaching from either side, pero magkaiba siya. Okay? So, ganyan nangyari. So, pwedeng wala talaga siyang limit as a whole, pero meron siyang pwede maging one-sided limit. Okay? So, nangyari yon kapag yung limit natin from left, nangyari yun kapag yung ating x approaches a from left, and then meron ka makuhang limit or the limit exists, and then meron ka rin makuha na limit as x approaches a from the right. Okay? So, meron tayong example. So, evaluate each of the following limits. So, ang pinapako sa atin, letter A is limit of the function. So, ang functions natin ay itong dalawa. So, ito ang gagamitin natin if x is less than 2. Ito naman ang gagamitin natin if x is greater than or equal to 2. So, for this case, sa letter A, x is approaching 2 from left. Ibig sabihin, values of x less than 2. Tama? So, we have 1.99, mga ganon. Okay? So, ayan. So, ito naman sa kabila is from right to left. So, ang gagamitin natin formula ngayon dito or function is ito. Tama kasi we have from right to left or from right papunta kay 2, that is 2, 2.1, 2.01, or let's say 3. Okay? Or basta malalaking value including 2. Okay? So, ito siya sa table. Okay? So, as x approaches to daw from left, ating mga values. As x approaches to from the right, ito yung ating mga values. And ang gagamitin nating function again, kapag x less than 2 or x approaches 2 from the left is eto. Okay? Pero as x approaches 2 from the right, eto naman x squared minus 4. So makikita natin na habang papalapit na papalapit si x papunta kay 2, ba from 1.9 nagiging mas close pa, 1.9999, mas lumalapit din siya kay certain number which is 3. Therefore, we can conclude that as x approaches 2 from the left, the limit of the function x plus 1 is 3. On the other hand, as x approaches 2 from the right, okay, malaking values of x greater than 2, papunta kay 2, is I think gawin natin yung value. And nakikita natin na meron siyang tinutumbok din na certain number, which is, kung makikita niyo, papalit na siya na papaliit. Therefore, we can conclude that as x approaches 2 from the right, therefore, the limit of x squared minus 4 is 0. Okay? Okay, so that is for the one-sided limits. Okay, so ayan yung ating graph ng function. So kung mahilig kayong makita or curious kayo makita yung mga itsura ng mga function na ginagawa natin, so try nyo siya sa mga graph simulating apps. So meron ito man sa online, so pwede nyo gawin. So etong line na to nagre-represent nung sa x plus 1. And then ito naman sa x squared minus 4. And we can see na dito sa ating x plus 1, it is approaching 3, and this one approaches 0, which is yung solve natin. Considering the relationship between the limit of a function at point and the limits from the right and left at that point, it seems clear that if the limit from the right and the limit from the left have a common value, then that common value is the limit of the function at that point. Similarly, if the limit from the right and the limit from the left take on different values, the limit of the function does not exist. Or ang sabi lang natin dyan, again, katulad ng sa example natin kanina sa sin x over x, kapag yung limit ng ating function from left and from right approaching A is the same, ibig sabihin yun na talaga yung limit ng ating function. Pero kapag yung limit ng function from left to right, I mean from left sorry. Pero kapag yung may nakuha tayong limit as x approaches A from left, pero iba naman siya sa nakuha nating limit as x approaches A from right, ibig sabihin, the limit does not exist. Pero kung merong limit na nag-exist, ibig sabihin, those are one-sided limits. Okay? So, huwag kakalimutan kung saan side siya nanggaling. Lalagyan ito. Pero kung meron siyang limit, same yung limit, yung from left and from right, di kahit x approaches A na lang. Okay? Okay, so next naman is consider naman natin yung sa third graph natin kanina sa limit of a function. So, tapos na tayo dun sa approaching the same, dito, same number, same limit. Tapos na rin tayo dun sa approaching different limit. So, punta naman tayo dun sa approaching A, pero yung magiging limit is infinity, either positive or negative infinity. Okay, so nangyayari yun kapag as x approaches A, yung ating limit is continuously growing, or halimbawa, hindi siya nag-approach dun sa certain number. So let us try 1 over x minus 2 squared. So let's try values close to, halimbawa, approaches 2 pa rin tayo, diba? So papalapit siya kay 2. So let's say from left, so kapag ganito, let's try 1.99 minus 1.999 minus 2 squared. So we will have 1 million. Mag-try tayo maglagay pa ng isang 9 sa baba. 1.9999. Magiging 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Naging 100 million siya. So, kung mapapansin natin, the one decimal or one digit lang yung dagdag natin, isang 0.9 lang yung nadagdag natin, napakalaki nung increment, napakalaki nung pagtaas nung value or nung in-approach na limit. Ibig sabihin, doon sa maliit na change na yon kay x or doon sa input natin, or kahit na isang hakbang lang yung nilapit ni x papunta kay A, napakalaki ng pagbabago doon sa in-approach na limit. Ibig sabihin ng ganun is, yung ating limit is approaching infinity. Mas lumalapit ka na, mas lumalapit kay A is mas nagiging mataas yung value mo. Okay? So, magiging positive infinity siya if positive na papalaki yung answer mo, or from 1 million, naging 100 million, naging 1 billion. Kung negative infinity naman is negative 1 million, negative 1 billion, and so forth and so on. Okay? So, from right to left naman, ganun pa rin ang magiging answer niya. So, let's say 2.01 minus 2 squared, we have 10,000. Pero lagay pa tayo ng isang zero, naging 1 million. Okay? So, kung makita natin, is they are both approaching positive infinity. Okay? So, ayan. Same graph lang din naman. And dito, extend lang natin ng konti. Para mapakita na kahit anong taas pa yung, or kahit gano'ng kalapit pa tayo dito kay 2, hindi pa rin siya mag-attain or magpo-point, or hindi pa rin sila mag-stop na mag-grow. Okay? So, there are three types of infinite limits. So, meron tayong infinite limits from the left, meron ding infinite limits from the right, and two-sided infinite limits. Okay? So, kahawig lang din naman siya nung kanina. Okay? So, if the values of the function increase without bound, or I mean, if the values of f of x or the output increase without bound as the values of x approach the number a, then the limit as x approaches a from the left is positive infinity. So, katulad lang sabi ko kanina, kung habang lumalapit si x papunta kay a from left, and then yung value ng f of x natin or yung output natin is lumalaki na lumalaki, ibig sabihin we have positive infinity, katulad nung kanina. Pero kapag naman habang lumalapit si x papunta kay a from left pa rin, and then bumababa yung value up to negative infinity, or lumiliit na lumiliit yung value niya. So, ibig sabihin, we are approaching negative infinity. Okay? So, yun ang may sabihin ng infinite limit from the left. So, it is approaching x is approaching a from the left, either positive infinity kung pataas yung value, and negative infinity kung palit ng palit yung value. So, same concept naman from right nga lang dito. So, if x approaches a from right, and papalaki na papalaki yung value ng f of x natin, yung sabihin is approaching, or the limit, the function is positive infinity. Okay? Pero, tawag dito, kung papalit naman ng papalit, ibig sabihin we have negative infinity. Okay? And hindi ibig sabihin na lagyan natin na positive infinity, that is the limit. Okay? Or negative infinity, that's the limit. Again, we still need a real value. Okay? Ibig sabihin lang ng positive infinity or ng negative infinity, or ibig sabihin lang ng infinity, kaya natin siya nilalagay as limit, is to denote na yung ating function is, or the limit of the function as x approaches a is without bound or increasing without bound. Okay? Or palaki lang ng palaki or paliit ng paliit. Okay? So, yun ang sabihin ng infinity. But not necessarily infinite yung sagot. Okay? We still need answer for, or real value for that answer. Okay? So, if the values of f of x increase without bound, as the values of x approach the number a, then the answer is positive infinity, or kapag tawag dito, lumalaki lang ng malaki yung value as lumalapit ka kay A or si x kay A, sabihin positive infinity. Pero naman kapag lumalayo, yung sabihin, I mean, bumababa si output natin as x approaches A, yung sabihin, the limit of that function is negative infinity. Okay? So, ito naman is two-sided, or same yung ina-approach na value, or same sila na positive infinity as x approaches A, and either from left to right, and same na negative infinity na approach from either from left and from right. Okay? So, it is sabi ko na rin kanina. Okay? So, evaluate natin itong mga example natin. Evaluate natin yung kanilang limit. So, first, evaluate the limit of 1 over x as x approaches 0 from left and from right and approaches 0 itself. Okay? So, ayan. So, from left to right, I mean, from x approaching 0 from left, okay? So, negative 0.1 hanggang maging negative 0.00001. Makikita natin na from negative 10, mas lumiliit siya ng lumiliit yung value. Okay? Hindi yung magnitude. Yung value is lumiliit ng lumiliit. So, we can say that it is approaching negative infinity. Pero kapag naman approaching from right, habang lumalapit si x kay 0, lumalaki ng value. Ibig sabihin, we can conclude that as x approaches 0 from left, we have negative infinity as our limit. Pero from right to 0, I mean from as x approaches 0 from right, ibig sabihin we are approaching positive infinity. Okay? Yan, as we have discussed. Okay? And again, di ba ang limit natin, or the limit to x is dapat same ng function, or same ng limit na nakukuha, or sa same value siya nagpupunta. Pero since magkaiba siya ng limit na kinukuha, ibig sabihin, the limit does not exist. Okay? So we can say that we have one-sided limit dito. Okay? And since magkaiba sila, the limit does not exist. Okay? So, ayan yung itsura niya. Makikita natin from as x approaches 0 from left, papalit siya ng papalit na value. Okay? From right naman is papalaki yung value. Okay? So, punta naman tayo sa limit laws. So, we have the basic limit laws na the limit of function, or the limit of x as x approaches a is a itself. And the limit of a constant as x approaches a is the constant itself. So, halimbawa, what is the limit of x as x approaches 2? Therefore, if x lang yung nakuha natin, therefore, yung limit niya is 2. Kapag naman constant na yung given, therefore, ang limit niya ay the constant itself, 5. Okay, so that is for the basic limit laws. Meron naman tayong sum law, difference law, constant multiple product law. So sa sum law for limits, so simple lang, kung ano natin yung limit ng kada function, kung ano natin yung limit niya. So halimbawa, ang limit nito is L, ang limit nito is M, then add lang natin. Okay? So same for difference. Kung ano lang yung limit ng function, kung ano lang yung limit ng function ng isa, denoted by L, denoted by M, So, saka kunin yung difference. So, constant multiple naman, kapag yung ating function ay may kasama siyang coefficient sa labas, may katabi siyang coefficient or nakamultiply siya sa isang certain constant, kailangan mo na kunin muna yung limit ng function, saka mo siya i-multiply doon sa constant. Okay, kunin mo na yung limit nitong function na to, denoted by L, saka i-multiply dun sa constant. So, sa product law naman for limits, so kunin mo muna yung limit nitong function na to, limit nitong function na to, saka mo i-multiply. Okay? So, sa quotient law for limits naman, same concept lang. Kunin mo yung limit nito, kunin mo yung limit nito, which is this, and then divide mo yung answer nila para makuha mo yung quotient. Okay? Power law naman for limits. So, kunin mo again muna yung limit ng function, saka mo i-raise dun sa power. Or bago gumuhanin yung kanya answer with the power. Okay? Root law for limits naman, again, same concept. Kunin mo yung law sa loob, yung limit muna sa loob, bago humukanin yung nth root. Okay? So, meron tayo dito mga example. Okay, and by the way, meron pala tayong mga example dyan sa learning elements. So, kung gusto nyo pa ng mga ilang mga examples, again, aralin yung pre-test, yung post-test, yung sample problems, yung mga example, pwede rin sagutan yung mga exercises and assignment na nandun sa learning element. Okay, so, ayun, going back to the example, use the limit laws to evaluate limit of 4x plus 2 as x approaches negative 3. So, gagamitin lang natin dito is C. Since we have addition, we have constant and a function, we will have application muna ng sum law. So, paghiwalayin mo na siya. So, we'll have limit of 4x as x approaches negative 3 plus limit of 2 as x approaches negative 3. So, in this one, we can use the basic limit law. And then this one naman, constant multiple. Tama? So, we will have 4 limit of x and limit of 2. And limit of x, basic limit law na lang. Then, we will have 4 times negative 3 and plus 2. Okay? X will become negative 3 na lang. 2 will become 2 pa rin. Okay? And then, multiply natin. Since we have applied constant multiple law, we will have negative 12 plus 2, we have negative 10. Okay? So, the answer dito is negative 10. Okay? So, hindi ko lang nalagay yung negative. Okay? 4 times negative 3 is negative 12 plus 2, we have negative 10. Okay? So, tandaan that is negative 10. Okay? So, another example. So, ang concept lang talaga dito, especially kung yan ay mga polynomials lang naman, kailangan nyo na talaga siyang gutay-gutayin or himay-himayin. Okay, and then take the basic limits law. Okay, so una, quotient law daw muna. So, kunin natin yung limit ng numerator and denominator, which is like that. And then, himayin pa natin to using the difference law, the sum law, the constant multiple law, and the power law. Tama? So, magiging ganito siya. Okay? So, ito na, hindi pa pala nagamit yung power law. So, gamitin natin si power law. So, we will have, kunin muna yung limit sa loob bago i-erase doon sa power law. And therefore, simplify lang, we will have, or using the basic limit laws, ito is naging 2 times 4 because ang limit ni x as x approaches 2 is 2 itself. And then 2 raised to 2 is 4. So we have 2 minus 2 times 4 minus 3 times limit of x as x approaches to is 2 itself. So we have negative 3 times 2 plus limit of constant is the constant itself, 1 over limit of x approaches to is 2. So 2 cube, we have 8 plus 4. So, and then limit of 4 or the constant is 4. So 4 na lang din siya. Okay? So, simplifying, we will have 1 over 4. So, that is the limit of that function. Okay, so kung mapapansin natin, ang nagiging nangyayari lang din kadalasan or nangyayari lang talaga kapag ang given natin, katulad sabi ko kanina, yan, mga ganyan, mga polynomials, is para nagka-substitute lang din tayo. Okay? So, ganun lang din yung concept niya. So, yung proving kung paano siya naging ganun, nandun sa learning elements natin. So, pakitignan doon yung explanation. Okay? Pero, ayun nga, tanda lang natin na kapag polynomial yung given, mga simpleng mga tawag ito, binomial, trinomial. So, parang pinapalitan lang natin si x ng a. Okay? So, ayun, katulad niyan. So, hindi na natin siya in-apply ng kung ano-anong law, direct substitution. So, you'll have 2 times 3 squared minus 3 plus 1. So, simplifying, we'll have 10 over 19. Okay? So, yun lang naman yung concept kapag polynomial. Pero kapag hindi na yan basta polynomial, may mga sign or may mga trigo identities, may iba pang given. So, make sure na gagamitan nyo ng proper laws ng limit. Okay? So, punta naman tayo kay continuity. So, ang idea lang naman ni continuity is, kalimbawa, dinraw mo yung graph ng isang function. Kapag tinrace mo siya gamit ng ballpen or lapis, dapat ma-trace mo siya from start up to end nang hindi inaangat yung ballpen. Okay? Or, tawag dito, to put it simply, walang putol yung linya ng function natin or yung graph ng function. Okay? So, paano daw tayo nagkakaroon ng continuity? Excuse me. Or, when can we say that a function is continuous at the point A? So, ito yung tatlong condition natin. First, if f of A is defined or kapag sinubstitute natin si A dun kay X, basta ay may makuha tayong value or meron tayong, yes, may value or the limit exists. Or, sorry, may makuha tayong value. Okay? And then, pangalawa is kapag yung limit ng function exists as X approaches A. And last is kapag yung limit nung function na yun as X approaches A is the same lang kapag nag-direct substitution. Okay? So, kapag na sunod mo yung tatlo or given yan doon sa tatlong sa isang function, kapag given yung tatlong condition na yan or na-satisfy ng graph ng isang function or na-satisfy ng isang function, yung tatlong condition na yan, we can say that it has continuity. Okay? So, ayan. So, tignan, sa graph, madali siya makita. Okay? Di ba kasi makikita natin kapag may bilog dyan, ibig sabihin, the limit does not exist here. Okay? Kasi kapag yung value mismo ni A nilagay natin doon, magiging undefined siya. Or, halimbawa, magiging 0/0, magiging indeterminate. Okay? Katulad ng example natin kanina. Dito naman sa next is, hindi rin siya continuous kasi makikita natin na magkaiba yung limit na kinukuha niya or hindi same value ang kinukuha niya. Okay? So, same din dito kasi, ay dito rin sa C is, tag dito, yung yung f of a natin is which is hindi equal doon sa ating limit na pwedeng makuha. Okay? So, meron tayong example dito para dun sa bawat condition. Okay, so first, alamin daw natin if continuous tong function na to at x equal to 2. Again, para malaman natin, try natin yung tatlong condition if satisfy siya. So, first is direct substitution. Yung x gagawin natin 2. Tama? So, 2 squared minus 4 over 2 minus 2 is 0/0 or determinate. Therefore, the limit is undefined or meron tayong undefined answer. Therefore, hindi siya continuous. Okay? Undefined kasi yung nakuha nating answer. So, next is, try naman natin, next example, try pa rin natin sa first condition. Palitan natin ng x equal to 3. So, ang gagamitin nating function is itong negative x squared plus 4 since ang x natin is equal to 3. Dito siya magpo-fall sa less than or equal to 3. Okay, so ito gagawin nating function. Negative quantity 3 squared plus 4 equals negative 5. So, meron tayong nakuhang answer. So, nasatisfy yung first condition because we have a defined value. So, try naman natin yung second condition. Sa second condition, dapat same yung, tawag dito, sorry, the limit must exist. So, paano natin malalaman kung limit exists? So, dapat from left and from right, as x approaches the values, dapat same yung makuha niyang value. Tama? So, from left, or x approaches 3 from left, ang gagamitin natin na value is, again, etong negative x squared plus 4. Since x approaches 3 from left is those values of 3 less than or equal to 3. And gagamitin naman natin value as x approaches 3 from the right is yung isa kanina. Okay? Since values of greater than 3. Okay? Or as x approaches 3 from the right. Okay, so makikita natin na magkaiba yung ating value na nakuha, magkaiba yung limit. And balikan natin na kapag magkaiba yung limit na nakukuha from left and from right, ibig sabihin the limit does not exist. Di ba? Therefore, it is discontinuous or it is not continuous at 3. Okay? So, hindi pa rin siya continuous. So, try naman natin itong mga tatlo. Determine whether the function is continuous at x equal to 1. Okay? So, first condition, f of 1 or f of a. So, substitution, direct substitution, palitan natin ito ng 1. So, we'll have 1 squared minus 2 plus 4, we have positive 3. Next is from limit of the function as x approaches 1 from the left. So, let's try. So, x approaches 1 from the left, we have 0.99. Tama. So, let's try square root of, 0.999, tatlong 9 squared, minus 2 times 0.999 plus 4, we have 3.0001. So, approximately 3. So, kapag naman from right, or x approaches 1 from right, we have 1.0001 or 1.001 minus 2 times 1.001 plus 4, we have 3.000001 din. So, we can say that the limit, since the limits are the same either from left or from right, therefore the limit exists, which is 3. Tama? So, since ang limit natin ay 3 na nakuha and ang f of a natin is 3, therefore, this function is continuous at 3. Okay? So, meron siyang continuity. That this function is continuous at 1 or this function has continuity. Okay? So, discuss naman natin yung discontinuity. So, kakawig lang din siya nung kanina or parang the other concept naman kanina. So, kapag meron laktaw or meron putol dun sa graph ng function natin, ibig sabihin may discontinuity. And meron tayong iba't ibang uri ng discontinuity or iba't ibang itsura ng discontinuity. Meron tayong removable discontinuity, meron tayong jump discontinuity, meron tayong infinite discontinuity. Merong removable discontinuity if limit of that function exists. Okay? So, meron siyang discontinuity pero may limit na nag-exist. Pangalawa is may jump discontinuity siya kapag meron ka nakukuhang limit from left and meron ka nakukuhang limit from right pero magkaiba siya ng value. Last is meron tayong infinite discontinuity. Siyempre kapag may nakukuha kang infinite na answer for your limit. Okay? Kasi nga naman kung katulad naman sa drawing natin kanina, di ba hindi numbers naman siya nagtagpo. So, technically hindi siya continuous. Okay? So, ayan. So, kamukha lang din nung pinakita natin kanina na mga graph. So, una, meron tayong removable discontinuity. Okay? Nag-exist yung limit niya, pero undefined siya at that certain point. Tapos, next naman, we have jump discontinuity kasi makikita natin na meron siyang kinukuha parehong or nag-approach yung may na-approach silang value pero magkaiba from left and from right magkaiba sila ng ina-approach na output. Ito naman is may infinite discontinuity kasi makikita natin na never naman silang magiging continuous kasi they're approaching certain value infinitely or they're approaching outputs infinitely. Okay? So, ayan. So, di ba kanina sa example natin sa continuity, sabi natin, this is not continuous. Di ba? Kasi, nilagay natin sa f of 2, ang answer agad natin is 0. Tama? Pero, hindi siya technically walang limit. Okay? The answer there is undefined. It is not it is it is not does not exist. Okay? It is not DNE. It is undefined kung f of 2. Okay? Pero ang kinukuha kasi natin dito is limit. Okay? So, kanina ang kinuha natin is f of 2. Ang kukuha natin ngayon is limit of f of x as x approaches to 2. And how do we do that? Okay? So, gagawin natin is kailangan natin siyang i-simplify muna. Okay? So, paano natin siya gagawin? So, pwede kayong mag-apply ng limit laws or para mas madaling way is dapat matuto tayo mag-simplify ng mga equations. Di ba? Si x squared minus 4 can be further simplified into x minus 2 and x plus 2. Tama? Okay. So, dito, pag, dito, kapag meron tayong x minus 2 sa taas, meron din tayong x minus 2 sa baba, pwede na natin siya makancel. Tama? So, we will have x plus 2. As x approaches 2 na lang, or pwede na natin makuha yung kanyang limit. Gamit na tayo ng basic limit laws. We will have limit of limit of x approaches to 2 is 2, limit of 2 is 2, so we have 4. Or simply, since polynomial na yan, we will have 2 plus 2, or direct substitution, so we will have 4. Therefore, the limit exists. Okay? And since the limit exists, but the number or the function is undefined at 2 itself, therefore, it has removable discontinuity. Okay? So, meron din tayong example nung nung jump and infinite discontinuity. So, pakitignan na lang yung learning element. Okay? So, kasi medyo maubusan tayo ng time para sa ibang topics. So, meron naman din tayong tinatawag na continuity over interval. So, ito naman is, ang main idea lang natin dito is within certain interval, kapag nag-draw tayo or tinrace natin siya, wala siya magiging laktaw. Okay? Or hindi siya mapuputol. Or makaka-draw tayo ng line from certain point up to certain point or yung interval na yon. Okay? So, let us have an example. So, ano daw yung interval ng function na square root of 4 minus x squared na continuous siya? Okay? So, sa interval daw siya continuous. Okay? So, para malaman natin yun, we have to take the limit of that function. Okay? So, tawag dito. Ang kailangan nating isipin is sa anong value ba or sa anong value ng A or anong mga values ng A yung kailangang i-approach or ano yung two endpoints, ano yung pwede maging dalawang value ng A natin na pwede maging endpoint ng interval. Okay? So, dapat yung dalawang endpoint na yon is maging point kung saan magkakaroon tayo ng output. And para magkaroon tayo ng output for this given problem or this given equation, alam naman natin na siya is square root. So, make sure na ang kailangan natin i-consider is yung values ng A, which will be yung either endpoint and either yung endpoints. Okay? So, dapat alam natin na hindi siya magne-negative yun nasa loob. Okay? Pwede siya mag-zero yung total nito or yung difference nito, pero bawal siya mag-negative. So, ano kaya yung endpoint na yun? Okay? So, looking at the problem or we can use inequalities, we will arrive at the answer of negative 2 and 2. Why? Because let's, again, you can use you can use inequality and you can directly think of the answer naman. Kasi kung titignan natin, ano ba yung value ng A or ng X dito or ng A dito na magiging 0? Kasi yun naman yung ating magiging parang first point, di ba? Or yun naman yung magiging main concern natin. Yun yung parang pinaka-ceiling. Dapat hindi to maging negative. Pero ang pinakamabang value niya is 0. So, ano kaya yung value ng X na magiging 0 siya? Okay, which is, alam natin na 2. Kasi 4 minus 2 squared or 4 minus 4 is 0. Okay, so we can say na 2 yung isang endpoint. Also, negative 2 kasi ito is square. Okay, so negative 2 square is positive 4. Still, the answer is 0. So we can say na yun yung kanya magiging dalawang endpoint. Okay, so therefore, and using the limit or taking the limit of the function from as x approaches negative 2 from the right. Again, so from the right, kasi kung from the left yan, that will be that will come up with a negative answer. Kaya from the right, kasi we want values that are within negative 2 and 2. Okay? Why? Kasi di ba ang greater than negative 2 is halimbawa negative 1 or negative 2 point, negative 1.99, negative 1. Okay? So kapag nilagay natin yun, still we have 0 or values greater than 0. Okay? So same dito, x approaches to from the left naman, kasi nga, if from the right, we will have negative answer dito. Okay? So makikita natin siya sa graph mamaya. So therefore, ayun nga, since nakita naman natin na yung 2, 2 itself, kapag nilagay natin, we will have an answer. Therefore, kasama siya dun sa interval natin. And siya yung magiging end points ng interval natin, yung negative 2 and itself. So we have here bracket. Okay, negative 2 and 2. Tawag dito, indicating that the interval is from negative 2 itself up to 2. Okay? So, sa ating graph, so try nyo gumamit ng Desmos. So, I I'm showing you the graph using the Desmos app, no, Desmos Graphing Simulator, Graphing Calculator. So makikita natin na from -2 to +2, yung ating graph ay continuous. Okay? So from yung interval kung saan siya continuous ay -2 ay I mean bracket -2 comma 2 bracket. Okay? So that is for the continuity of closed interval. Okay? When you say closed interval, the the function is continuous at a certain closed interval. Okay? Or meron lang siyang range kung saan siya continuous. Outside that interval, the function will be discontinuous. Okay? So meron pa tayong isang example. So ito naman yung x minus 1 over x squared plus 2x. So kung makapapansin natin dito, meron siyang tatlong, parang tatlong graph. Parang nagkahiwa-hiwalay yung tatlong graph. Okay? Kasi at values of, tawag dito, at values at -2, at 0, we will have undefined answer dito. Okay? Kasi let's try 0. If we have 0 here, we'll have 0 denominator, which is we don't want. So we'll have an answer that is not defined. And kapag -2 naman, we will have, again, 0 dun sa baba. So which is undefined. So in this case, we can say that the interval is, tawag dito, parenthesis negative infinity or from negative infinity up to negative infinity, comma, -2. And dito naman is negative infinity union or including or to denote end or another interval, -2 and -2 comma 0. And dito naman is I mean 0 and positive infinity. So we can say that this function is continuous at 3 closed interval. Okay? Negative infinity, comma -2, -2 comma 0, and 0 comma positive infinity. Okay? So wag malilito sa paggamit ng mga parentheses. So for this example, parentheses gagamitin natin to denote that those are not the endpoints. Yung -2, yung 0, those are not the endpoints. Hindi sila kasali dun sa interval. Okay? Ayun, sorry na double ko yung graph. So ito yung closer view. So isum natin yung kanina, yung 4 minus x squared. So again, continuous siya over the interval -2, comma 2. Okay, so that would be all for chapter 2. And I hope you're doing fine and keep safe and thank you.